Welcome back to your hour. Joining me now is Paul Rosales from RE/MAX Realty Professionals, and you wanted to talk today about
some money. A lot of people don't realize there's still programs out there that will let you get money to help you buy a house. A lot of people think that those went away a couple of years ago, but there's some programs out there, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. And a lot of them, they have a definition of a first-time home buyer being you've either never owned a home or you haven't owned a home in the last 3 years. So if you meet,
that leaves it pretty wide open, doesn't it?
Yeah, more and more people. So if you meet those criteria, a lot of the programs we're going to talk about today, they fit you may fit the criteria for that. There's one program out there, if you're a Native American, depending on what tribe you're with, you can get up to $2,500 to help you buy a house. So you put that together with some of the other programs. I know we've talked about some of the home renovation programs where you can actually buy a house and say the house needs some work. It might be a foreclosure home or something like that. You buy the house and say you buy it for $100,000 and the house might need $15,000 worth of work done to it. You get your loan for $115,000. And that $15,000 is set aside to help you renovate the property.
It's in escrow.
Right. It's actually in an escrow account, and you use it to pay off the people who are going to help you renovate the home.
Okay.
So you might be able to combine those depending on the lending requirements. One of the other programs out there will provide you with up to $4,000, and you don't have to be a Native American to qualify for that. You simply go through some first-time home buyer courses and things of that nature, and the money's there to help you with $4,000 for your down payment, your closing costs, things like that. Generally what we do in a situation for what we're talking about is we'll have the down payment covered or part of it with that $4,000. And then your closing costs, we go ahead and roll those into the loan. So generally what we're talking about with the first two programs is taking care of down payment money. There's another program out there that will give you up to $9,000 to help you buy a house, which is a pretty good chunk of change. Again, now with $9,000, that's going to be more than enough to cover your down payment. That's going to most likely cover all of your down payment and almost all, if not all, of your closing costs. And so those are some pretty good programs out there. There's some programs out there you can link it together to where you only put $1,000 down on a house. Plus, you get some of the monies that we've talked about. So if you haven't owned a house in the last 3 years or you've never owned a home, and you're thinking about buying a house, it's a good time to do it when you combine the down payment programs that we're talking about along with the $1,000 down or the renovation loans that we're referring to. They can be pretty good when they're combined, not to mention the historically low interest rates that we're looking at. We're hovering between 3 and 4% on interest rates depending on credit scores and debt to income ratios and things of that nature. So when you put all that together, it's definite that you're going to be paying less for a house, most likely, than what you're paying for rent right now.
Well, and how does the average person find out about these programs and whether or not they qualify?
Realtors, we're really the wranglers of the transactions. We're in the business so that when a client comes to us, we have communication, we have relationships with various lenders, because not all lenders do these types of programs. In a lot of cases, you have to go through special programming, you have to register with whoever's doing it, you have to meet the people who are providing the money. It's not the bank, it's usually nonprofit organizations or government entities. You have to register with them, you have to know how to work the program. So a realtor, a good realtor will know the various programs out there and be able to put his client with the lenders who are doing, or the people who are providing. Sometimes a nonprofit organization it's a direct relationship. Sometimes you have to go through a lender. So the realtor should know either the nonprofit organizations or know the lenders who are able to put these types of programs together for their clients.
And most of these programs are going to change over time. They're not always going to be available, or
exactly.
Yeah.
Kind of like the way the federal government funds, they fund everything at the beginning of fiscal years, or they set it up every 6 months or whatever. Some of these programs, they'll have a bucket of money through like a block grant. And so they'll get that money in there, and there's enough money maybe to help 50 people. And so once those 50 people have been helped and they've sent out that $9,000 per person, that fund is exhausted and the program is no longer available. Sometimes they refund the programs. Sometimes they don't, and if they're going to refund it, you never know when. The refunding for federal programs has to be passed through the House of Representatives. So
that can take years.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So you never quite know when when the program is going to be available again. Right now, I know that for all 3 programs that I spoke of, actually all 4 programs that I spoke of today, there are funds available at this time. I can't guarantee they'll be available in March or April, or they may be available in March and April. I don't know. It just depends on how many people take advantage of them, because there's a set amount of money that each program doles out. Once it's out, it's
gone,
out
yeah.
until it gets refunded, and sometimes these programs don't get refunded. A couple of years ago we had a lot more programs to pick from, and a lot of those programs don't exist anymore. So it's important to get together with a realtor who knows where these programs are, who can help you get the loans through them. And again, not every loan officer will know how to do these programs.
So for instance, you go to see a realtor and you start asking him about these different programs, and he gives you this blank stare, like, what are you talking about? That's probably not the realtor you want.
Probably not. You want somebody who's had a little experience with these, because that means they'll have experience with a loan officer. And if they have experience with a loan officer and they feel confident enough to refer you over to them, chances are they're going to do a good job for you.
Well, thanks for joining us
Thank
today.
you.
Do you want to stick around for movies?
Sure.
Okay. We'll be back in a couple of minutes, and we'll visit the movies and see what's going to be good on this weekend. So stay with us.